Kat, and today is Wig Wednesday. Normally, I would do a wig video for you. I do have loads of videos, I'm having brain fog. I'm not feeling well, so I'm going to start by saying that. But I do have, I have loads of wigs that I do want to show you and share with you and tell you what I think of them and some of the key features to help you make some decisions. No, I'm not drunk. I just am not feeling very well. Today would be my normal day now to go into the office. As some of you know, I took on additional work to help out here at home. And I've really been loving it and enjoying it, and I look forward to learning a lot and continuing to do what I'm doing. But some of you, and this is kind of what this video relates to, will know that I was doing something else as well. So anyhow, if you're watching this live, stay where you're at and I will explain everything to you. If you're watching this on playback, feel free to hit pause, go get a cup of tea and come back because I might babble for a little bit. And I can already tell I feel emotional, but you know, my immune system's low and I don't feel good, so that is probably a factor. Anyhow, again, if you're watching this live, I'm going to continue babbling now. So if you were with me back around this time last year, you know that I went into Chester a few times, which is the major city center here in the area we live in. And I was really secretive about what I was doing. Basically, I'm very much known in my community for being a wig wearer, and so at one point, one of the local establishments, the owner had suggested I start my own wig business. And at first I thought it was rubbish, but other people had suggested it to me as well, and I saw a need in my community because I see a lot of wig wearers and a lot of people who aren't feeling good and a lot of people who are struggling through cancer, hair loss, and things like that. And I see these people and I know they're in my community. And in fact, a gal who lives a few doors down from me, I think she's just finished chemo. And even though there is a wig service, I won't get into it, but the wig service locally, I think I have things to offer. In any case, so several people had said, you know, oh, you should really do this. You have a lot of compassion for people. There's a need for it in the community, and this, that, and the other. So I went out and I sought out a business development manager. I worked on a business plan. I got a domain name registered. I got some marketing materials, set up social media, started working on a website. You know, I started to do all this stuff. My kittens are playing right now, so I apologize if you hear crazy noises. So I started to do all this stuff, and I was going through a period of time where I wasn't feeling good, but I was still pretty functional in terms of doing that kind of stuff. And I got to the point where I had all the photos for all the trade accounts I have. So I have trade accounts with lots of different companies that you will all have heard of. And so I had all the stock photos, I had accounts set up, I had relationships, you know, communicating back and forth with companies. And everybody has been so nice to me. And so I got to the process of starting to add product to the e-commerce, and I realized there's hundreds of wigs and hundreds of products and so many things that I can offer on a website that I just can't do it by myself. I don't have the physical endurance anymore to sit down and add like hundreds and hundreds of wig styles and stock photos and all that. And a lot of people would say, well, you could hire someone to do that. Anyhow, but I wanted to do things myself. So, and as you probably know, if this is the first you're hearing of it, you know I'm not a great self-promoter. Because it was only really meant to be a local service. And one of the things I identified through experience was that I really wanted to go to some of the training seminars. Adirans, which is the company that makes Rene of Paris, Amore, and Enrico, they run training courses in the places where they have shops and things and where they sell, you know, in wig stores like in Trenco. And they offer training. And I have the training schedule. I've been wanting to go now for over a year. But I've just gotten to a point, realistically, where I can't take my son to school anymore. My fatigue is really crap, and I put on a pretty awesome face, and I do a lot, but I'm at the point where if I'm at home, I'm not even wearing a wig because it just gets tiring to put a wig on and get dressed and all that stuff. So that's why I haven't been doing my normal wig recaps lately, because I'm just really fatigued. And anyhow, it doesn't mean that I can't work. It doesn't mean that I can't offer things to people, but I think in terms of a physical service where people can make appointments with me, I can get stock out. My dog's on the couch now. Where I can get stock out and take measurements and put wigs on people and make suggestions. I physically can't do that because, you know, that would be me walking from where I live down to the shop, up the stairs, meeting with people, maybe not making any money, and I still have to pay for use of the room, and I still have to order things in, and if they change their mind, then I have to find a new home for the item. So there's all that. But then it's hard to try to work more than one job. Sorry, my dog is like now tangled up in cords that I have for my equipment here. But anyhow, it gets to the point where logistically it becomes difficult because there's a lot of physicality involved in it. You know, walking to and from the shop. It's close enough to walk to. So I'm one of those crazy people who be like, as long as I still have breath in my lungs and blood flowing through my veins, if it's a few minutes away, I'm going to walk, even if that's stupid. And I want to do all the things for all the people. And there, you know, the one gal that I had contact me who came in, she told me, you know, contacted me late one night and said, I'm going through my second round of chemo. I didn't expect my hair to fall out this quickly, and it's gone, and I have an appointment tomorrow. I just need something to get me through my appointment. She came into the shop. I met her first thing in the morning before the shop even opened, and I just ended up giving her 2 wigs that were donated. So, great saleswoman. There's a lot of reasons behind that stuff, but I tend to be more of someone who connects to people, who feels emotional with people, and says, you know, if I can do something to help you, I will. And if you're at a disadvantage, I will help you. I'm at a disadvantage because I am not a fantastic promoter. I look at social media and I see, even though I'm just a local service trying to help local people, I see that there's probably an advantage to being more self-promoting, and that's not how I roll. I'm just not good at that. That's not how my brain works. And I realize that it requires a lot of physicality to go into a shop and to sit down with people, and I like I said, I still have to pay for the space. So if I'm not there, or if I'm there and I don't make a sale, then I still have to pay out of pocket to be in that room. And it's just, there's a lot going on. So I haven't been able to finish the website. Could I hire someone to do that? That remains to be seen. The other thing is I just physically don't have the energy to be that hands-on with a business, to be out and about in my local community, going to stalls, going to events, going to health fairs, talking to people, working the road. And plus, you know, I recognize that to give people my best, I do want to take the training seminars, and I really do want to have the best knowledge and the best technique and offer the best service, and I physically can't. So that's a hard decision for me to come to, because so many people asked me, you know, told me, this would be really great for you. This is something we'd really like to see you do. We really want to support you. And I found it to be, you know, I almost feel like there's resistance in the universe, or resistance in terms of what my fate and my plan is in life. That it's not something I feel like I failed at, because I think I am a very worthy person with a lot of talents and a lot of compassion, and I don't ever look at, and I don't want to look at an experience like that as if I failed. So I don't think that I failed. I didn't fail anybody. I just think that while it's a great thing and I want to do it, I physically can't. I can't hop the train to London and spend hours in London taking a training seminar, and then take the train back and then be able to function and get my son to school the next day. I mean, I'm like dreading changing the sheets right now because I'm just that tired. And I've picked up a preschool virus, so I have some kind of like sinus, ears, nose, and throat thing going on. My ears are sore. I'm also having trouble speaking. Soreness, and I just don't feel very good. So I'm just going to work from home today. I've already emailed my manager and said that I'm just going to conduct my part of things from home, which I'm sure will be fine. And I'll be back at it next week. You know, but I can only do one thing at a time. And so I think it's not going to change in terms of me doing wig videos, because I still really love wigs. And the reason I got so into wigs, I mean, some people just buy one wig and they wear that all the time, and then when that one's worn out, they switch. The thing that got to me was I could finally feel like myself. And when I say that, I mean, my daily motto used to be, every day is Halloween. I used to feel like every day was an opportunity to have fun and to pick yourself up and to be whoever it is you wanted to be. And wigs were just an extension of that philosophy. Also, you know, covering up these bits. Like, it's so funny how short this is here, but then this is thicker back here. I don't know. It's not bad. It's certainly not terrible. I could try growing this out again. The last time it didn't work out very well, but anyhow. But wearing wigs gave me the opportunity to feel like me and to be whatever version of me I wanted to be. And that was a really great feeling. And the feeling of being able to look yourself in the eye in the mirror and go, oh, I feel good. I feel good about the way I look. Providing other people with that look good, feel good experience was something that I really wanted to do. But I see that there are so many components to doing something well and doing something successfully that I just can't do. And it's not failure, and it's not saying I'm not good enough or I'm not capable as, you know, intellectually or capable as a person. It's just there comes a time when you have to say, I know my limitations. And I've never been that person. I've never been one to say, I know my limitations. There's times when I've been really, really sick and still walked 4 miles to work and still sat through an entire day, even if it meant going to the bathroom and crying several times before coming back and getting through a day. I do what I need to do. I'm very much a survival-oriented person. But the conversation I had with my husband was, if I've only got so many spoons at this point, what do I need to spend those on? And I've not been spending them on doing the hoovering, that's for sure, or the laundry, or even cooking dinner as many nights a week as I used to. So I need to be a bit more gentle with myself. I need to realize there's some things that you have to let go. Doesn't mean that I won't come back. It doesn't mean that I won't come back to wanting to offer people a local service so that people can look good, feel good, and have someone caring and compassionate to talk to. And it doesn't mean that I might not get a treatment and start to feel better in the future and be able to do things like take the training courses and spend more time learning and educating myself. I've learned a lot in my not succeeding. There's a lot that I've learned through this process that's invaluable and that I know now. And I continue to learn more beneficial things every day. So I think if I ever feel good again, that there will be a lot that I can offer other people. But now is not that time. So for everybody who didn't know that I had my own little tiny wig service here, I haven't seen anybody in months. I haven't had a chance to do anything in months. I'm surprised they haven't cleared all my stock out and, you know, given it to a charity shop. I messaged them to say, look, I've not been well. So, please don't get rid of my stock, but I need to clear that out soon when we move. That's the other topic. We're still in the process of dealing with liquidating funds and getting through paperwork, and everybody is kind of in a holding pattern. I'm hoping that we'll be moved by July, which is my birthday's in July. I'm hoping we'll have it done by then. That's still another two and some months off. I can't do math, barely can do talking. Didn't get much sleep last night because the little one had an accident. He likes to climb in bed, and then if he has a wee, it's on me. So woke up in the middle of the night, couldn't go back to sleep. Not feeling good. So totally lost my train of thought, which is normal for me. Anyhow, long story short, that's the battle. The house. Long story short, hoping to be moved. Then I hope to get some new equipment and continue to go back to making not only my wig recap videos, which I really enjoy doing. That's one thing that takes me out of the difficulties in life in general. I don't feel very good a lot of the time, and I'm still very positive, and I smile, and I have a great outlook, I hope. And, I still care very passionately about rare disease advocacy and helping other people and talking about chronic illness and helping to support other folks on the journeys that they're on. That I don't think will ever go away. It's definitely not going away at all, in fact. I've just even been in a you know, it's if you've heard of the spoon theory, if you know what I'm talking about when I say spoons, it's like you have so many spoons per day. What do you use them on? Do you use them on getting up, getting dressed, looking presentable, going into an office, sitting there for a couple hours? Or do you use them on cooking dinner? Do you use them on, you know, running a business? Do you use them on writing? You know, what do you use them on? And, you know, I've always had limited, well, not always, but for the last years, I've had limited energy, but I've tried to make all of that stretch out as far as I can, and I just can't do that anymore. And it doesn't mean that I don't want to say, oh, I'm disabled, because even though that's a conversation people have had with me, I mean, I had that, who was it? Someone from Age UK, I had a social worker coming out, and I was going through a particularly bad flare about 2 years ago. She was talking about what right you need to get your citizenship sorted out, and we need to get you on disability, and we need to get you this and that. And then it was sort of like, well, but you're still able to take care of your son, and until you can't take care of your son, then we can't do anything for you. And I've always been somebody who's resistant to taking on that label. So I still, you know, do everything that I can possibly do as long as there's breath in my lungs. And like my mom was the same way. She worked, she was, brain fog, what was she? She was a certified nurse's aide in a home for elderly folks in, ooh, someone already dropped off. Anyways, she was a CNA, and she took care of people in an Alzheimer's unit. And though we had our issues, and she had a lot of health issues, she continued to work until about 2 years before she died. So she continued to work, then she had a heart attack, didn't want to tell me, lost her job because she couldn't get the doctors to agree on the paperwork, then was trying to get on disability and couldn't, and then she had a stroke, and then she went into a home, and then she declined over a year, and then she ended up dying from she ended up having a massive heart attack complicated by gangrene, of all things, because she hurt her foot one day in the shower at the old folks home, or not the old folks home, but the care facility she was in. So she went from working to taking care of people who were older and unwell to being one of those people herself, and that was really difficult. Anyways, but she was a stubborn so-and-so, and obviously I am that way too. So I have a lot to offer. I have a lot that I want to give to people and to the world, and I have a lot I want to give to rare disease and chronic illness communities. And so maybe the best way that I can serve them is to stop having this illusion that I can do something else in my community and continue to do things through online work and through YouTube and through social media, which is what I've been doing for the past few years, and continue to find ways to raise awareness, spread compassion, and do great things. I guess, like I already said in a disconnected statement earlier, wigs are my break from that. Spending a couple years in the rare disease community talking to people who were struggling badly. I talked to one woman who was suicidal for quite a while, and I used to spend a lot of time talking to her. And the cats are like having a kung fu morning, like for real. Anyways, I spent a lot of time talking to her, talking to a lot of parents with sick kids, and it takes an emotional toll on you. It really does, especially when you're not a trained psychologist and you're just there as a sick person talking to other sick people or talking to the parents of sick kids. You're just there to listen and to say, like, just get through another day with me. Just, you know, hang on. Let's keep going. And that takes a toll on you. And so wigs, for me, having fun wigs and occasionally getting dressed and getting cute makeup on made me feel good. And it took my mind off it. And I got away from the support groups because I felt like I just wasn't in the same place as a lot of people anymore. And I got more into wigs because that made me happy. And wigs do make me happy. And connecting with people about their own chronic illness stories and their wig stories and their health stories and all of those things wrapped together, that helps me to cope. And I really enjoy that. And I enjoy working again. I used to work in insurance, but of course I'm a jackass of all trades. So I used to do IT stuff, set up the phones, sell insurance, work with high network clients, answer the front desk phones. I would hang a picture. I'd hang pictures in the lobbies if you'd pay me to do it. I was a person who would do anything If you're paying me, it's my job. And I miss the intellectual challenges of that. So I'm really thankful and glad to be working in a capacity where I can still affect patients' lives and help people in a positive way, just much less directly than I had been. And I'm happy to keep volunteering, and I'm happy to keep doing all these other things, but I think I need to let that local service go. And it's a hard decision, and it makes me sad because I feel like there's people I can help if only I had the energy to do it, and I don't. And you can't hold on to that. You've got to let it go. So that's me. Today's Wig Wednesday was Wigless Wednesday, because like I said, I've just not felt very good, and so the whole action of lifting my hands and putting my wig on and fiddling with that, it just makes me tired. And today, like I said, I've got a virus that I think my son brought home from preschool, so I just feel really run down. So I'm going to go back to sleep here soon. And then I'm going to get up and I'm going to work happily from my computer on the work that I'm doing for someone else. And I really hope they don't see this video and think, oh my God, she can't do this, you know, she's on her last legs, you know, we can't push her over the edge. That's not what it is at all. I'm just saying, when you have so many spoons, you have to pick your goal, you know, pick your something, pick your battles, pick your battle, and do what you can do, and be proud of yourself and be successful that way. Don't take on too much. I am notorious for doing that. I am the least qualified person to give anyone advice about that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So that's me done talking. I'm sorry I don't have a wig video for you today, but I will have some hopefully soon. It's not that I don't have wigs to talk to you about, because I do. I have like this backlog of wigs, plus I've got stock I've got to get rid of, and I've got all this stuff going on, and so I gotta do all that. So I will come back next week, hopefully with a wig video. I will hopefully feel well enough to put some makeup on and put a wig on, and you know, not feel emotional, and just, you know, get back to the stuff that makes me happy, which is talking to you guys and wearing wigs. Those are things that make me happy. Working makes me super happy because it makes me feel like I am intelligent still, and I'm capable, and I can get through a day, and I'm proud of myself when I do that. So that's where I'm at with that. So hopefully in July we'll have a different backdrop in a beautiful conservatory. The new house has a beautiful conservatory, just absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful house, small but beautiful. It's a 2-story, so that's going to kind of suck for my dodgy hip, but this is a 2-story as well. You got to do what you got to do. Beautiful house. Totally look forward to sharing with everybody what it looks like. Look forward to having a beautiful back garden. I'm looking so forward to this move, I can't tell you. And so that's going to be hopefully in July. So if you can hang on with me with this crappy living room lighting and crappy living room setup, and doing my wig videos in the back, if you can hang on with me until July, things will start getting better. And fingers crossed that on all the blood work I had this past week, that they will finally figure something out, and I can maybe see a specialist that will somehow get me some kind of treatment, because I really want to feel better. But even if that never happens, we're still going to plug along, and we're still going to be awesome. So don't give up. I'm not giving up. I'm just changing my priorities. So anyways, more wig videos in the future. Things are going to get better. Handshake, thumbs up, you know, we're gonna do this. Stay with me one more day. That's why I tell people, is just stick with me for another day. We're gonna get there. So anyhow, I hope you're doing good. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. I'm done rambling. Okay? Big hugs. Bye-bye.